The sharp crack of a measuring tape sliced through the crisp Colorado morning air, jolting me from my quiet routine in the doorway of my art studio. Coffee steam curled up from my mug, forgotten halfway to my lips, as I stared at the scene unfolding in my wildflower meadow. 3 figures in neon safety vests paced methodically across the grass, marking spots with stakes, while a sharply dressed man in a suit barked orders into a phone, clipboard in hand. My heart stuttered. This was my land, my sanctuary, the place I'd carved out after years of clawing my way free from family chains. "Excuse me," I called out, my voice steady despite the knot twisting in my gut. "This is private property." "What the hell are you doing here?" The man in the suit turned, flashing a polished smile that didn't reach his eyes.
"Ah,
"You must be the caretaker."
great.
"We're from Premier Events, scouting for the Harrison wedding setup. Your timing's perfect. We need to confirm the tent placements." "Caretaker?" The word landed like a slap. I set my mug down on the railing with deliberate calm. "I'm Elena Reyes. This is my home, my gallery, and my workshop space." "There's been a mistake." His smile faltered as he glanced at his clipboard. 147, Aspen Ridge Lane. Harrison wedding venue. All cleared. He flipped a page and held it out. There, in black and white, was my address, my property details, and at the bottom, a signature. My signature, or what looked like it. My stomach dropped like a stone into a well. "I didn't sign this," I said, my voice low, the words tasting like ash. "I didn't authorize any wedding." He tapped the paper. "We have the full packet, emails,
Contracts.
all approved by Elena Harrison."
Oh,
"Wait. Maiden name issue? Happens all the time." Harrison. The name I'd shed like old skin 14 years ago, right after my family funneled my inheritance straight to my brother Derek for his endless business ventures. I'd changed it to Reyes, my grandmother's name, the one who'd left me that money specifically for my art dreams, not for Derek's failed startups. My phone vibrated in my pocket. Mom's name glowed on the screen, and suddenly, the puzzle pieces slammed together. I answered, my grip white-knuckled. "What have you done?" "Elena." "Honey." Her voice oozed that fake warmth I'd learned to distrust. "Isn't this exciting? Derek and Sophia are tying the knot, and your meadow is ideal for the ceremony. We thought it'd be a lovely family reunion." "You forged my signature," I whispered, watching one of the crew drive a stake right through my bed of wild lupins, the ones I'd nurtured for 4 seasons until they finally bloomed vibrant purple.
Oh,
"Don't be so theatrical.
dear.
We just expedited things since you're always so elusive. Sophia adores the photos we found online of your place. Time to let bygones be bygones." Bygones. Like the $150,000 trust fund my grandma had earmarked for my education, which they'd reallocated to Derek because he had real potential. The money that could have funded my gallery without the years of scraping by.
Now.
They wanted my land, my business, the space where I hosted painting retreats and sold my landscapes to galleries in Denver. "No," I said, the words solid as granite. "This is my gallery, my livelihood. I have a retreat booked that weekend, 10 artists, paid in full." "We'll sort that out," she dismissed. "Deposits, rescheduling, easy." "Really? Elena, when are you going to get a proper career? Art school's cute, but law was always your path." My gaze shifted to the open studio door, where morning light danced on my latest canvas, a sweeping mountain vista in oils, commissioned by a collector in Santa Fe. The colors I'd mixed for weeks, capturing the golden hour glow. Perfecting it had been my therapy, my proof that I didn't need their proper path. "Get these people off my land," I told her. "Elena." The invites are printed. 200 guests. Derek's thrilled to see you. As if on cue. A text pinged. Derek. Thanks.
Sis.
Sophia's obsessed with your meadow views. Mom said you're cool with it. You're the best. I'm calling the cops, I said, hanging up on her sputters. Turning to the event guy. I cross my arms. Pack up, or I'll have you trespassed. His professional veneer cracked. He signaled his team, and they scrambled to their truck, leaving behind a tangled measuring tape snaking through my flowers. My phone buzzed again, an email alert. Venue deposit confirmation, $25,000, Harrison wedding. Charged to my old business card, the one they'd co-signed when I started the gallery. Back when I naively thought they'd support me. I stood there, the mountain breeze whispering through the aspens, as the truck vanished down the drive. 48 hours, that's all I had before that deposit locked in. Before their latest bulldozer over my life became another mess to clean up. My hands steady now. I scrolled to Lisa's number, my closest friend, the paralegal who dissected my rights after the trust fund grab. Hey, I said when she picked up. Remember your offer to help if they pulled this crap again? I need the works on fraud and identity theft. By midday, my kitchen table was a battlefield of papers, contracts, invoices, bank statements. Each one peeled back another layer of their scheme. Outside, the meadow swayed gently, mocking the chaos inside. I dialed the tent company first. This is Elena Reyes. You have a contract for a wedding at my address. Absolutely, the rep chirped. Signed by Elena Harrison 3 weeks back. We did the walkthrough during your plein air class. Your mom showed us around. Loved the wildflower setup for the aisle. During my class, the one that covered my bills, the pen in my hand bent under pressure. They'd sneaked vendors onto my property while I taught, while artists paid to learn from me. Lisa burst through the door, briefcase bulging. I came prepared. My aunt remembers the trust fund fiasco, says it's time they paid. Look at this, I said, shoving papers her way. All signed with my old name. They used that co-signed card. Told everyone this is their family venue, even though I haven't spoken to them in years. Lisa's eyes sharpened as she scanned. Your mom toured vendors while you worked. Classic boundary stomp. And the retreat? Fully booked. Non-refundable deposits from your students. My phone dinged, Derek again. Can't wait.
Sis.
Sophia's maids want pics in your wildflowers. Mom's got the archway spot picked. They knew about the retreat, I murmured. Mom said she'd handle rescheduling my hobby. Lisa booted up her laptop. Credit freeze first. Then we catalog it all. My aunt knows a fraud detective. Identity theft from my own blood. The term burned, but Lisa was right. Relation didn't make it right. An hour in, sunlight gleamed on my drying canvases, earth tones I'd refined over months, mirroring the Rockies' rugged beauty. Mom hadn't noticed that during her secret tours. Too busy plotting. Another text, unknown number. Hi, Elena. Sophia here. Your mom gave me your digits. Quick question, okay to shift some paintings? Photographer says they clash with our blush and evergreen palette. Rage ignited. Cold and precise. Lisa. How quick for a cease and desist. She grinned. Templates here. But Elena, are you sure? This escalates. Through the window. Deputy Harris's cruiser passed. Routine patrol. He'd bought 2 of my prints last month. Said they captured his hikes perfectly. They started the war, I said. I'm just arming up. Lisa dialed her aunt. A text from Mom. Florist needs access at 2. Don't fight this.
Elena.
Family first. Family first. The mantra they'd chanted while draining my fund. Crushing my art dreams. Pushing law school. I saw my meadow anew. Not just beauty, but but battleground. And this time, I held the high ground. The emails flooded in at first light, a digital barrage from relatives I'd long since muted. Aunt Clara, shame on you for not mending fences. Uncle Mike, your poor mother is devastated. Cousin Tara, Derek deserves his dream day. My phone vibrated again, a social media ping from Sophia. Counting down to our rustic mountain wedding, transforming this cozy Colorado gallery into magic. Harrison wedding mountain bride. The photo? My meadow. Snapped during my Santa Fe trip last month. They'd trespassed. Scoped it out while I hustled. Your brother's attorney rang. Lisa's voice crackled over speakerphone. Claims verbal consent from you months ago. I gripped my coffee tighter.
Lies.
Haven't talked to Derek since the inheritance swipe. They're cornered, she said. Vendors are probing the signatures. Your mom's posts are backfiring. A car rumbled up the drive. Through the blinds, I spotted the sleek black SUV Dad had gifted Derek for landing his latest big deal. Mom emerged first, immaculate in her tailored blazer, Dad trailing with that perpetual tie tug. Derek last, slouched like a kid caught. I opened the door before they knocked. Private property.
Leave.
Sweetheart, Mom advanced, heels clicking on the porch. Enough games. We brought the decorator for layout tweaks.
No.
The syllable echoed off the peaks. This is my gallery. My business, not your playground. After all you've done for me, like siphoning my grandma's money for Derek's whims. Derek winced. Mom's smile turned brittle. Ancient grudges.
Elena.
We offered you stability. Law school could've been your dream, not mine. My tone held firm.
Now.
Before I dial the sheriff. Elena, Dad interjected. Be sensible. Invites out. 200 RSVPs. Sophia's folks from the coast. Your mess, I said, phone in hand. Sheriff Harris knows about the forgeries. They backed off. Mom's heels faltering. I watched the SUV retreat, then collapsed into a chair. Texting Lisa, they showed with backup. Need reinforcements. Her reply, and route with overnight gear. Aunt's prepping cease and desist. Afternoon blurred into security upgrades, new locks, trail cams at key spots, signs screaming private property, art retreat in session. My students volunteered watch shifts for the wedding date. Local painters offered guest spots. Your business permit solid. Aunt Rose's voice boomed over the line that night. They can't spin it as residential. I initiated fraud claims on the charges. Emailed vendors with proof. Lisa rolled in as dusk fell. The meadow glowing amber, the same spot they'd eyed for vows. Got something, she said, handing an envelope. Old trust fund records. Statutes still open. I fingered the seal. The Rockies loomed outside. Timeless. Wind rustled aspens, the trees I'd painted countless times. Finding peace in their whisper. Later, in the gallery, student reviews surrounded me. Your retreats reignited my passion. Found my style here. Feels like family. My fingers brushed a fresh canvas edge. Clay, no. Wait. In this life, it was paint, but the essence was creation. I opened the envelope. Choices branched like meadow paths. Bury the past or ignite it. A text glowed. Derek. Mom's melting down. Dad's withdrawn. Just loan the meadow for a few hours. Name your price. I flipped the phone down. Cams winked outside. Boundaries fortified. Shelves of art gleamed. My empire. Built solo. Hands steady. I typed to Aunt Rosa. Trust docs. Justice delayed isn't denied. The paperwork thumped onto my desk a week later. County stamp gleaming. After endless calls, my retreat was officially business zoned. The credit company had halted charges. Mom's texts raged. You're disowned. Hope ruining Derek satisfies you. I powered off, stepping to the window. Sun kissed my canvases. Hues honed over years. Birds scattered seeds in the meadow, where Mom envisioned guests. Gravel crunched. Lisa's car. Papers in tow. Behind. Harris patrolled. Signs ready, she said. Unfurling private event. No entry, banners with permit codes. Perfect, I said, envisioning Mom's reaction. Your mom's Facebook meltdown's viral in your favor, Lisa noted. Showing posts. Mom's tirade drew sympathy. Forcing a wedding on someone's land? Respect boundaries. Art retreats are legit work. A ping. Another vendor bailed post-fraud docs. Shoulders eased. Their house of cards crumbled. Phone rang. Derek's voicemail. Venomous. Selfish as ever. Mom and Dad sacrificed. You squandered on doodles. Now blocking my wedding. Sacrificed my fund. I thought. Deleting. Lisa squeezed my arm. Sophia's mom emailed your students, pushing cancellations. I checked rosters. 0 drops. These artists invested in growth. Like I had against odds. A knock. Deputy Harris. Toolkit ready. Cam's up soon. And FYI, your mom hit the diner. Tried swaying my sister against her permit. She got booted. Warmth bloomed. Town loyalty trumped blood. Allies dwindling, Lisa said. Aiding setup. 3 vendors ditched today. Sophia's king questions Derek's wallet. Dad phoned Aunt Rosa. Begged quiet settlement. I tensed. Why? Channels only now, Lisa smirked. I'd craved their nod once. Now they scrambled. Plans evaporating. Email chimed. Sophia's mom. MS. Reyes. Troubling details emerged. Venue. Derek claimed your gift. Retreat shift agreed. Open to fair rental talk. Margaret Klein.
No.
But pieces fit. Pushiness. Panic. The wedding funded by overreach. Lisa read over. You could end them. Fraud. Harassment. Trust proof. Or, she added, show your strength without total ruin. Meadow glowed outside. My haven. Every bloom.
Path.
Chime my choices. Call Margaret, I decided. Not for rental, no way. But to clarify who defrauded whom. I clutched a sign. Revenge? Nah, standing firm sufficed. Harris drilled. Lisa organized. Across town. Mom likely grasped her siege revealed her true colors. Morning light bounced off the fresh trail cams, their lenses vigilant. From the gallery porch, I watched Harris's cruiser idle at the drive's end, a steadfast sentinel. Your sunset series is stunning, Mark. My veteran student said from his easel. He nodded at the canvas I'd layered before dawn. Insomnia fueling the fiery oranges. Thanks, I murmured. Odd how instinct birthed beauty amid fury. Around us, 9 more artists dobbed away, all paid for this retreat, affirming my world's validity. The radio crackled. Approach sighted. Led cars with decor. Hand firm. I shelved the canvas. 14 years crafting this. No surrender today. Tires ground gravel. Mom's SUV spearheaded. Her profile taut. Stay creating, I told students, though eyes wandered. Your space. Your investment. Mom halted at the barricade chain. Door slammed. She charged. Heels unsteady. Absurd. I'm family. This is for my son's big day. Ma'am, the guard intoned. Permitted event ongoing. Documentation confirms MS. Reyes sole ownership. Vacate. Elena. Mom's cry pierced. End this tantrum. Guests en route. 200 strong. I emerged. Lisa flanking. Mom's expression soured. That childhood brew of letdown and scheme. Mrs. Harrison, Lisa projected. Percease and desist. Active private retreat. Intrusion equals trespass. Vehicles piled. Derek's ride. Dad's sedan. Sophia's clan in rentals. Catering truck, with my contested charge. You can't, Derek bellowed. Exiting. Invites flew. Sophia's people traveled far. With my faked sign-off, I countered. Card fraud. Unauthorized claims. Catering reversed. Beeping chaos. Guests in finery milled. Eyeing signs. Confusion mounting. I can't fathom humiliating Derek thus, Mom shrilled. The tone that once cowed me. After your gifts, like fun theft, I shot back. Signature forges. Account drains. Sophia materialized. Gown stark against fall hues. You swore she consented, she snapped at Derek. All set. He flushed. Mom managed. Via crime, I said, brandishing folder. Copies for all, police included. Derek, your sig mimics sloppy on catering. Folder tumbled. Pages fluttering. Sophia's dad snatched one. Brow furrowing. Card misuse? Forgery? Dad. No, Mom assured. Derek cracked. Mom lunged at chain. Family healing. Step offline, Harris commanded. Approaching. Hand casual on belt. Permitted zone. Disperse. Mom's facade fractured. Then steeled. Richard, act. Dad lingered by car. Eyeing meadow I'd tamed. Gallery I'd raised. Home. Eleanor. Done. Done. She spun. Wedding wrecked. Reputation. Earned, I interjected. From gallery. Easels hummed. Paint mixed, creation amid crumble. Guests peeled away. Sophia's dad steered her.
Grim.
Catering rutted gravel.
Fleeing.
As Dad's car idled solo.
He neared chain.
Envelope out. Impressive life built. Dropped it amid papers. Revenge's end, or start? My life's no vendetta.
Dad.
It's mine, the one you hindered. He nodded. Departed. Door thunk like closure.
Inside.
Mark chatted softly. Brushes stroked. Earth and pigment-scented air. Liberty's aroma. Sun ignited sunset canvas. Blazing promise. Spring's sunlight dappled my workbench, illuminating a dozen fresh landscapes cued for the retreat. Through the pane, blooms carpeted the meadow, where, a year prior, family plotted nuptials. The scar faded. MS. Reyes. Timid voice at door. Sarah. Newest enrollee at 20. Clutched palate. Echoing my past self, gifted, driven, burdened by kin scorn. Others arriving. Set up welcome. Spot on. I cleaned brushes, pointing to shelves. Green series today evokes fresh starts. Spring session boomed. Tales of my stand drawing seekers rebuilding post-rejection. Waitlist spanned seasons. Phone hummed, Lisa. Partner made. Garden bash tonight. No buts. Grin spread. Ally threw fraud logs to restraining order seal. Workshop buzzed. Sarah sorted supplies. I hung Wall's newest. Framed $160,000 check. Settlement post Aunt Rose's trust proof. Beneath. Scholarship show flyer. Your classes mended me. Kitchen voices floated. Art heals kin wounds. I fingered wind chimes. Forged from Grandma's porcelain shards Mom shipped post-fail. Labeled heirlooms. Transmuted breakage to melody. Mailbox flagged. Bradley's letter, 3rd. Unopened. Not rage, but serenity. Some ties ashbound. Aunt Rosa joined opening. Hands arranging seats in meadow. Grandma'd beam. Trust's true intent. Attendees claimed spots under blooming aspens, one side for chairs, now easels. Before start, I address circle, some Ross card, others resilient. Arts deemed selfish. Defying family selfish. But your craft gifts the world. Boundaries aren't barriers, foundations for truth. Lisa slid in rear. Briefcase swapped for boots. Once queried regret on family mercy. Answer in every canvas shipped. Student epiphany. Wind teased chimes. Light pranced through shards. Patterning blank canvases, ripe for shaping. Welcome to Aspen Ridge. I beamed at chosen kin. Create wonders. Demoing strokes. Paint flowing. I spied my youth in Sarah's gaze, that scared creator prizing approval over authenticity. Wanted whisper. See our rise? From others' ashes. Instead, guided her brush. Teaching pressure patience turns blank to resilient masterpieces. Lessons beyond speech. Chimes crooned in breeze. Melody wafting where artists hunched over works. In each shard, light refracted. Dancing on virgin surfaces, awaiting new, true, free forms. The afternoon unfolded in a rhythm of brushes meeting canvas. The soft murmurs of encouragement weaving through the air like the wildflowers outside. Sarah's initial hesitance gave way to bold strokes, her landscape emerging with a vibrancy that mirrored the mountains themselves. I moved between easels, offering quiet adjustments, a nudge on color mixing here, a word on perspective there, watching as raw emotion transformed into tangible art. This was the magic of the retreat, not just teaching technique, but unlocking the stories trapped inside each person. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the meadow, Lisa pulled me aside during a break. That settlement check on the wall? It's more than money, it's validation. She sipped her coffee, eyes scanning the group. You've turned this place into a beacon for people like us.
Us.
The word hung warm between us. She'd lost her own family battles years ago, choosing her path over expectations.
Now,
here we were, surrounded by a circle of creators who'd done the same. By evening, the garden lit up with string lights we'd strung for the celebration. Students lingered, sharing stories around a fire pit, tales of disownment, rediscovery, triumph. Sarah approached, her finished piece under arm. This is the first time I've painted without hearing my dad's voice in my head telling me it's a waste. I hugged her lightly. That's the point. Make it yours. As the night deepened, Aunt Rosa raised a glass. To boundaries that build empires. Laughter rippled, but beneath it lay the weight of what we'd all endured. Later, alone in the gallery, I stood before the wind chimes, their gentle tinkling a soundtrack to reflection. The letters from Derek remained in a drawer, seals intact. Maybe one day I'd read them, but not for closure, for curiosity. The pain they'd inflicted had forged me. Yes, but I'd chosen not to let it define the rest of my story. The next morning brought new arrivals for the weekend extension. Their eagerness, a fresh wave of energy. I demonstrated a glazing technique on a series of vases, the clay analogs and paint yielding to metallic sheens that caught the light like captured sunsets. One student, a middle-aged man reclaiming his passion after decades in corporate chains, nodded thoughtfully. You know, I read about your stand online. Gave me the guts to quit my job. Stories like that accumulated, each one a brick in the foundation I'd solidified. The meadow, once a threatened battleground, now hosted only creation, workshops, exhibits, even a small festival I'd planned for fall. Galleries in Boulder and beyond clamored for my pieces, the commissions stacking up like the aspen leaves in autumn. Mom's final attempt at contact came via a forwarded email from a mutual acquaintance, a plea for reconciliation, laced with accusations of my unforgiving heart. I archived it without reply. Dad had gone silent after the envelope drop, that quiet acknowledgement on the chain line his last word. Sophia's family, post-meeting with Margaret, had severed ties with Derek. Their questions about finances uncovering more than wedding fraud, debts, deceptions that painted my brother in a light even harsher than I'd known. He was rebuilding, or so rumors said, but from afar. As the retreat wrapped, Sarah lingered last. Will you mentor me? I want to build something like this someday. Absolutely, I said. Start with one stroke. The rest follows. She left with a spark in her eyes. And I locked up, stepping into the twilight meadow. The chimes sang softly, shards refracting the fading light into rainbows across the grass. Revenge? It wasn't the fire that consumed, it was the quiet forge, turning breakage into harmony. What if family isn't blood, but the ones who let you bloom? The question lingered as stars emerged over the peaks. My answer etched in every canvas, every boundary held firm. In the end, the greatest creation was the life I'd shaped, resilient, radiant, irrevocably mine.